He's finally going to jail. I'm talking about Hamas Piker, the largest leftist political streamer, and also Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. The two of them are going to be best buddies in the cell. It's happening. It's a glorious day. He is currently 590% cooked, according to my estimation. And when he is actually behind bars, that is when we release 1,000% cooked. So recently, for those of you keeping up with the How Cooked is Hasan Piker franchise, the greatest franchise on the entire internet, this is him wearing a press vest, participating in a riot. He is literally living up to the actual Hamas terrorist lifestyle, wearing pressed vests and holding sniper rifles. He is actually living up to the terrorist dream. So for those of you that are unaware, this is what happened yesterday. And I've covered it intensely in my previous video. But let's just say everything got worse. Now Hasan is not only beefing with Asmongold, not is only beefing with the police, not is he only committing crimes on camera, but he got his cronies to come and cancel me, because that's actually happening. All of the Hasan cronies are getting together to write like endless lies about me, which we will cover. And also, he is trying to make believe that the riots are actually positive for the country. And see, he's beefing with Gavin Newsom. So Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is beefing with Trump. Trump is threatening his arrest and he's losing his shit. He made like this little 2-minute speech. Everyone freaked the fuck out. It's pretty great. And then Hasan is like, nah, bro, it's not enough. And he loses it again. All right, so let's lock in, boys and girls. We got a lot to do. First, I need to get you the Asmongold clips coverage of what's been going on in LA over the last day, so we can properly cover the retardation that Hasan's been doing, as well as the overarching situation on the streets. So it's time for some hard-hitting on-the-ground journalism. Definitely subscribe, because all of my subscribers get to enjoy free content where we make fun of retards. Lock in, boys and girls.
I want the people of Los Angeles to know that we stand with all Angelenos, no matter where you were born. There is a history of having peaceful protests here. I tell you.
But it's not a peaceful protest. It's not a peaceful protest. Bro, that's Karen Bass, the mayor of LA. Stop.
That
I love the juxtaposition.
That's not peaceful. What was happening? It's not peaceful for people to be on the highways. It's not peaceful.
Hasan was on the highways. She is directly calling out everyone's favorite terrorist on Twitch.
For people to throw rocks or bottles, that's not peaceful.
So she said it's not peaceful. Even she says that.
We've seen a very rapid escalation.
I think it's pretty impressive that they managed to blame the fact that all of their citizens are totally fucking schizoing out, setting cars on fire. They're trying to blame that on Donald Trump. And the fact is that
they're trying so hard. That's exactly what Gavin Newsom's been doing.
None of these people are ever being held accountable. This is a person who's like getting inside of the car. Like literally, like you're looking at burning cars. Hasan almost got banned for filming a crime. I mean, realistically,
there's Hasan Adolf bin Laden Piker. He takes a day off from calling for the death of Jews to call for the downfall of America instead. A huge uptick, if I'd say so myself. I don't know if this is an evolution or a devolution, but this dude is on a highway, participating in blocking a highway. This is a felony, by the way, and the dumb fuck is recording himself. And just a little thank you to Hasan bin Laden Adolf Epstein Hamas Piker. He's recording the faces of everyone else there too. Hasan, your footage might be used to put these people in jail. I'm just saying, this new season of Clown World is fucking based.
On getting on the highway like that should get him banned. It's not even a question. It's very cleanly and plainly stated.
Yeah, banned from public life.
In terms of service, that if you commit a crime and you're breaking the law on stream, you should get banned. It's explicitly against the terms of service. Look at this. What is this?
Bro!
But again, the situation has devolved into
look how mostly peaceful it is, guys.
Chaos. It's a disturbing sight to see a fire burning like this in the midst of a crowd making their way through Los Angeles.
I just want you guys to see this immigrant-run Salvadoran restaurant help sheriff's deputies with tear gas in their eyes. This entire dichotomy, it's like the Latino people are like the ones being attacked or whatever. No, this is not true.
100%. And I think this is really important to note. This is not a racism thing. This is not like an anti-Mexican, anti-immigrant thing. This is they want to deport illegal people in the country, which, by the way, yes, they absolutely should do that. Like, obviously, that's why, countries have borders and laws, like a government with rules, the basic shit for every country. These people that are helping these officers absolute badasses. You have any idea how many people I have in my chat and in my comment section being like, hey, I'm an immigrant. These people make life harder for all of us. I get so many of those comments, and I feel bad for you. I really do.
There's a group of lawless, aggressive, psychotic people that are setting random cars on fire. The restaurant? Yeah, those are illegal immigrants. Those are Americans. So don't let yourself get misled or lied to by any sort of racial manipulation by thinking that this is some sort of race war. This isn't white people versus brown people. This is not Mexicans versus Americans.
I'm not sure about that one, though. I'm not sure. I'm not referring to Mexican Americans, but did you see that the president of Mexico made like this whole thing like, yeah, you guys should keep protesting, guys, and it's like, wait a second, is this a foreign invasion? Anyway, we'll see what happens. It's gonna be crazy. The content is gonna be crazy.
These are crazy, violent, psychopathic, aggressive criminals versus the rest of the normal people that want to be able to live their life.
True. And guess what? Trump is rising in the polls, because obviously all these people are doing is proving Trump was right all along.
And run a restaurant in America and pursue the American dream.
Yeah, because it turns out I'm actually pro-legal immigrants. But don't worry, because Hasan is actually fucked now.
Tectone, for context, was suspended by Twitch for 1 week.
I don't care!
For calling girls whores.
Yeah, they were whores!
That called him a rapist. So these girls called him with absolutely no...
All right. The Hasan audience has a good thing about slandering people all the time. They slander the fuck out of people. The entire community. Don't worry, we're going to be covering that in a minute. So, anywho, this is Hasan being fucked.
He's out there. He's out there talking about me.
Hopefully one day we'll see the large...
This guy goes out to protests performatively to talk about his beef with Asmongold. Is this not the most pathetic shit in the universe? Nux, what's the solution? I don't know. Follow the laws or get punished for not following the laws. Dude, it's not that hard. It really isn't. See, I have no fear of being rounded up and thrown into a cell. You know why? Because I actually follow the laws.
Largest political commentator Asmongold out here in the streets, for protesting for, I don't know, making...
Okay, sure. I'll go with the National Guard to arrest everybody who's standing in the highway. Yeah, I think that sounds great.
By the way, before some people spaz out, this is literally what the mayor said.
That's not peaceful, what was happening. It's not peaceful for people to be on the highways. It's not for people to throw rocks. That's not...
And now this genius is also calling out Bernie Sanders after he said these...
Dude, he is beefing with everyone. That's why you can't take Hasan seriously. Because this guy goes out there and he beefs with the people on his side. Because even the people on his side are not radical enough for him. And I'm going to show you some tweets where he lost his shit at Gavin Newsom. That Gavin Newsom isn't starting an actual insurrection against the government. That Gavin Newsom isn't directly activating military force to start a civil war against the United States. That is what Hasan wants. He is a terrorist supporter. He is always on the sides of the terrorists. Every single time. Every single time. He is on the side of the terrorists. It's not a coincidence. He is a gigantic fuck. And I'm really glad people are starting to notice it. So, Bernie Sanders said, Dr. King defeated racist government and officials and ended segregation through discipline, non-violent resistance. Defeating Trumpism, oligarchy, and authoritarianism requires the same level of discipline. Violent protests are counterproductive and play right into Trump's playbook. Alright, that's what Bernie Sanders says. And Hasan calls out Bernie Sanders and is like, nah, bro, we need to be violent. If that's not inciting fucking violence, I don't know what is. This is an actual crime. And he's gonna go to jail. Even Gavin Newsom said that people that are inciting violence are gonna go to jail. It's gonna be amazing. Dude, you are not ready. My britchers are ready. I am locked in.
Protests were counterproductive.
But they're putting themselves in harm's way and potentially setting themselves up for a criminal future. I talked to the DA just a couple of minutes ago. The DA will file felony charges on individuals and also the potential for federal charges.
I can't get them. There he is, on a highway. Yes, he was smart enough not to film himself committing actual vandalism, but there he is on a highway committing a federal crime. Wow! Dude, I'm really liking this. I'm really liking this Hasan actually doing this shit arc. This is great.
Fucking dumbass take that Asmongold had out of my mind.
Asmongold?
Oh, God, bro.
Here I am fighting against the monarchy, against the empire. Anyway, Asmongold. He's such a fucking freak.
Always about me. Which one?
Being like, oh, if you ever see protests where there's other countries' flags being waved, you know you're in America. It's like, yeah, it's a diverse country.
If it's a diverse country, wouldn't you expect to see more American flags, though? Because, like, I mean, to be fair, at least there's one of them right there.
Also, not much to feel proud about right here. This endless police militarization.
You wouldn't need the
police militarization. I can't believe that they're locking up mostly peaceful fucking terrorists.
militarization. You didn't have people throwing rocks at them. You have to remember bricks of peace, gentlemen. This is protesting. Guys, they're just protesting.
Oh,
guys,
that's
it's a protest. You have to understand. Listen, this is their freedom of speech.
Yep. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. But don't worry, gamers. It gets worse. Because Trump decided, you know what? I am not gonna roll over. I am not gonna let these mostly peaceful attempted murders get away with shit. And Trump decided, no. We calling the military. We are arresting the fucks. And we might even arrest the governor.
Confirmed, he's activated 700 Marines to take back the streets of LA. Go. We have an obligation to defend federal law enforcement officers, even if Gavin Newsom will not.
Hey, I don't know who need to hear this. I see a lot of people be talking shit about America. Hey, if you don't like America, go to another country, bitch.
I fucking love the Marines. They're such legends.
I love this country. I'll protect this bitch.
Yeah!
There it is.
Sending a message.
Dude, this is ending racism, all right? This is ending racism. When's the last time you saw, like, people saying some racist shit about black people? I haven't seen it in a week. When's the last time you saw a black guy saying something about a white guy? I haven't seen that either. Everyone's too focused on the fucking retards in the streets burning the fucking country down. That's what I'm talking about, baby. We're ending racism with this shit. We are finally evolving. We have ascended to retards versus slightly less retarded people. This is glorious.
The Trump administration that their immigration policy is bad. The absolute last thing that you should be doing is violence. Because
true. It's like, hey, Trump, we really don't like your immigration policy. We're going to prove to you that immigrants are good people by burning down your city. We showed them.
All that does is feed into the narrative. You need the National Guard and you need...
What do you mean narrative? What narrative? Bro, they look at this.
Need all this lawlessness, and that's something they don't think is true. So the way to disprove that is to show that there is law and order in the streets.
President Trump is deploying another 2,000 National Guard troops to LA.
You're not planning to affect Insurrection Act. You still plan to send troops?
Well, we're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart.
So right. It's our country, and we need to defend it. He's right.
Nonviolent resistance. Violent protests are counterproductive. And then Hasan says, you were literally there at the nonviolent protests that everybody considered violent. So now he's against Bernie Sanders.
He's against everyone that's not an actual terrorist. When are people gonna wake up and realize what Hasan actually is? Hasan supports the Hamas terrorists that build fucking tunnels under hospitals, that use children as shields, that kidnap and rape people. All right, that is who he supports. He's made it very clear. He is on the side of terror.
Completely blocked the federal building. This might
like
be
hundreds of years ago
somebody
too.
over here selling. For how much are the flags going for?
$20.
$20 business today.
Hey, that's not business.
Some venta this.
It's we're not working, and you know we need to make a little money. You know.
Dude, that's crazy. The fucking flag grift.
He's hustling, man. Yep, that's smart. You got to fish for.
Yeah, the $20 for a Mexican flag. $30 I'll throw in a Palestine flag. It's relevant, we promise. But anyway, I wanted to show you this little story. So this little, this fat fuck over here has been doxing ICE agents. All right, I'm pretty sure this is that situation. This dude was doxing ICE agents, doxing their personal addresses so protesters would harass their families. And let's just say he fucked around and found out.
So this is a guy right here who, for a long time, he was running an account. And is this LA scanner actually gone now? Yeah.
He deleted his own account. Because he's probably going to jail.
Okay, so he deleted his account now. You know, he would post like this right here, confirm federal agent sighting. If you see federal agents in LA, DM us a photo and the location. Let's keep Los Angeles safe. You know, this guy pretty much made a big mistake because now people found out where he lived and people found out his name and they're doxing him. I recently discovered several posts containing...
Now listen, I don't condone doxing, all right? Doxing bad, I don't condone it. But you know what I do condone? Consequences. If you fuck around, you find out. Rip bozo! Rip bozo!
I recently discovered several posts containing my family's name and home addresses. This is unacceptable. and violates our privacy. Be warned, if anyone appears at my residence with harmful intentions, I am legally entitled to use deadly force in accordance with my state laws.
And then the guy below, he is in California. Fafo, baby.
My family's name. And
this guy was doxing ICE agents to get people to harass their families. Someone actually found out his shit, and let's just say shit's bad. And they found out crazier stuff about him. I don't know if Asmongold's gonna show this, but it turns out that this guy was also a convicted stalker. Like a convicted stalker, I think, of a child or a mentally handicapped person or something like that. And he went out and decided he's gonna make a career out of doxing cops on Twitter. And now he's going to jail.
And home addresses. This is unacceptable and violates our privacy.
Yeah.
Talking about federal agents is putting federal agents in danger because they're actively trying to deal with potential criminals, drug dealers. These are the people that are advocates for doxing. The second that they actually get doxed, they delete their account and try to appeal to people's sympathies. He's a convicted stalker. LA Scanner is a convicted stalker.
Does cover it.
So wait a minute. So let me get this straight. The guy who ran an account on stalking ICE agents was actually a stalker. Offense level felony.
Bro!
Case status convicted. Stalking
shit.
Found guilty by court. It was a kid. How do we know that it was a kid? Oh no. Violation victim was vulnerable.
Yeah, vulnerable means either a kid or like someone mentally handicapped or like someone like really, really old. And let's be real, it probably wasn't that last one.
This is him making a post today. I want to issue a formal apology. I should not have posted the locations of the ICE raids, and I will no longer do so. I've contacted the authorities to take responsibility, and they are currently reviewing my account to determine whether any laws were broken. If it's found that I violated the law, I will fully cooperate and turn myself in.
Well, you don't have an option. Have an option. They're coming for you. Oh, Lord.
Well, no, you won't. You don't need to turn yourself in because it already happened.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows that you did it. Those targeting my family, please, I'm begging you to stop. They've done nothing wrong, and they do not deserve to be dragged into this. Well, neither did the ICE agents' families either.
True.
But you had no problem putting them at risk.
I am telling you, the terrorists, all right, the people that are burning the cities down, these terrorists, I'm not even gonna lie, they are the gayest, lamest, most retarded fucking terrorists of all time. They will throw shit, and the moment shit gets tough, no, I deserve a lawyer. I deserve due process. No, no. Like, I'm telling you, it's the funniest shit in the world. It's like, yeah, we're gonna fight back against the Nazi government until, you know, they find out anything.
The guy that did the LA Scanner account, it looks like a federal judge has issued an arrest warrant for the person who ran the account, doxing the ICE agents. Honestly, I feel like it makes it a lot easier for this guy to be put in jail.
Oh my God.
If he already has a history of stalking in the first place. I mean,
the federal judges are coming around, baby.
I mean, how poetic is it that that person who is, you know, like running an account to stalking the police.
Dude looks like he came out of a Meat Canyon cartoon.
Was actually previously convicted for felony level stalking. And the victim was vulnerable, which means, again, an underage person or a mentally ill person.
Yep. So shit got crazy, but don't worry, because Hasan found a way to make it even worse. We're actually getting there, baby. We're actually getting there. We're seeing a lot of fucking around and a lot of finding out. I'm giving you kind of a highlight reel right now, but we are going to get into the deep dive in just a moment, and it's going to be insane.
So Hasan says I should be the one getting in trouble.
By the way, to understand how far right we have gotten, back in the day when Sex Pestany said white supremacists need to fucking mow down these like Black Lives Matter protesters, he got banned. He got de-verified. Asmongold.
Yes. Inciting violence is a crime. Good point.
Can now be the largest content creator on the fucking platform.
Thank you.
And be like, yeah, they deserve it. To be fair, he's talking about the cops in this circumstance. We understand them as white supremacist force.
We understand them casually as white supremacist force. Yeah, I covered this earlier, but like, it's insane. Like, this dehumanization of people just to basically condone violence against them is insane. It's a Nazi force. It's a white supremacist force. It's based to use violence against Nazis, right, guys?
Right. It's the police officers that are the white supremacists. Definitely.
He will get no punishments for this, as a matter of fact.
Why should he get a punishment? Did he incite violence? This dude's a fucking retard. He knows nothing about actual, like, laws or freedom of speech. Now, the irony is, every single country that this guy supports, every single terrorist organization that he supports, none of them have freedom of speech. Bro, when the Palestinians in Gaza protested against Hamas murdered the Palestinians, okay? They murdered their own civilians for protesting. Like, this dude supports people who murder people for freedom of speech. Okay? Like, that is who he supports. But Asmongold saying that the laws should be enforced is violent and you have to arrest him. Are you fucking insane?
I'll probably get fucking banned before he does.
Yeah, big surprise. It's a little bit different. Maybe it's hard for Hasan to understand. So for Hasan, it's bad when police officers defend themselves from the use of deadly force against them, such as throwing bricks at them.
But you have to realize that's because Hasan supports the terrorists. According to Hasan, good guys could do anything and bad guys can't do anything. And bad guys is anything Western. Anything remotely aligned with the United States, bad guys, right? So any Western force, any democracy, bad guys. The good guys are either the insurrectionists or the Islamist extremists. Those are the good guys.
When the Houthis...
The guy that said to the river to the sea, free Palestine, and then executed 2 random Jewish people in Washington, D.C., according to Hasan, that's a good guy.
Take hostages and then hold them for the better part of a year. That's how it works. And I will reiterate my take. I think that anybody who engages in escalation that could be deadly, like trying to throw Molotov cocktails, trying to throw bricks, if something could kill a police officer, I think a police officer has every right to respond with deadly force. And
yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's right. He's based.
Reason why is because I think every citizen has the right to respond with deadly force. And I don't think police officers should uniquely be punching bags.
To quote Exodus 22:2, if a thief is caught breaking in at night and struck a fatal blow, the defender is not guilty of bloodshed. God thinks it's okay. All right, listen, I've got God on my side on this one.
The psychopath is certainly the people that are protesting.
Yeah, the psychopath is the person who's throwing bricks at police officers. And that's the problem that these people have. It's the
they're all retarded.
The total inversion of empathy and morality.
Source, the Bible. Yeah, no, for real, God approves of self-defense. And, you know, it's absolutely despicable to see Hasan push this shit. He is constantly and endlessly just shoving his bullshit moral platitudes down your throat. Constantly, just shoving them down again and again and again. Terrorism are good. The state is always Nazi. Laws are all authoritarian. He is a despicable fuck. But I want to show you the obvious consequence of every single time this shit happens. All right? Looting. Because it never ends with just burning shit down. Because this was never about changing policy. Never about changing any form of policy whatsoever. If this was about changing policy, they would not be doing crimes because that is only making the entire country more on Trump's side. Want to know the craziest shit? Let me introduce you to Trump's #1 hater of all time. Someone who said that he kind of wished that the bullet that was shot at Trump would have killed him and doesn't care about anyone that's killed in MAGA protests. Destiny. Destiny made a video, the LA protests need to stop. This guy's on Trump's side, okay? All right? I'm not even joking. This is how crazy it is. 95% of the country thinks these people are violent freaks. Obviously, they are helping him win here with their lawlessness. And Hasan is definitely, he's there. Anyway. Base, put him in jail.
I'm going to be honest. I think they're too gentle. I do.
I'm going to be honest. I agree. I agree. Put him in jail. Fighting back against a police officer? What is this shit?
Yes.
Are there no laws?
Today, obviously,
dude, yeah.
This is, you know, again, PvP server behavior.
True. They're looting an Apple store. You know why? Because they don't want immigrants to get deported. That's why. That's right. Like you heard first, ladies and gentlemen. They disagree with Trump's deportation policy. So the best way to stop that is to steal iPhones. Wow. Look at that. Every iPhone stolen helps an MS-13 gang member.
Good job, guys. Yeah, it's a good point. I wonder if they looted any of the bookstores. I got a feeling.
Obviously not. They can't read.
And they might have forgotten about Barnes and.
I will make this clear and understood. If a thief is caught breaking in at night and struck a fatal blow, the defender is not guilty of bloodshed. We got God and anime on our side, gamers. I'm just saying.
Noble.
We got GTA 6 before GTA 6.
But what? Guys, we gotta go.
And the craziest part is, Hasan is gonna watch this, and he's gonna be like, the fascist white supremacist cops showed up to the people looting the Apple store.
Wait,
now, you know, I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking there's no way Hasan defends looting, right? Like, rioting in the streets, anarchy, all right, whatever. He supports terrorist shit, sure. But looting, there's no way he's actually gonna defend stealing. right? There's no way he's gonna incite actual theft in his videos, right? That's epic foreshadowing.
Where do we go? The cops are already there. They actually got locked in. The goof boys. Oh, got him. Look at him.
Bro, it's crazy that this shit's happening in real life.
These boys under control, bro. Like, damn, getting away.
I don't know why this is remotely acceptable. Every single one of these people should be in jail.
Hey, they're all getting away. What's this here? A pipe bomb.
Bro, a pipe bomb?
That's great. It's a peaceful, guys.
Dude.
These are pipe bombs of peace. What are you guys not like protesting? Call them peace bombs.
Look, it's free speech pipe bombs. Okay, shut up.
Yeah, peace bombs.
Y'all haters. Y'all just haters. Why do they think that stealing from a store with a Mexican flag is a good look? Why the fuck do they think this is a good look?
Security guard.
Do you want to live in a society like this, by the way? I don't. I absolutely don't. This is mind-blowing. Holy shit. Bro.
Dude. Oh my god.
Dude, this is crazy. Could you imagine being the store owner? Like, it's so sad. It's actually tragic.
This sure is making a really good case for illegal immigration and California's policies.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a great case.
1000%. Trump was right about everything, it seems, almost. It's kind of crazy. But don't worry, because here we're about to have Hasan defending looting. I just wanted to show you the looting that was going on before I actually showed you the defense of looting, which, I'll be real, is not something I expected to see, but it is something that we are going to see in just a minute.
But a lot of people worry about property damage for the sake of property damage. You know?
Why is this so...
A lot of people worry about property damage for the sake of property damage. I don't know why you keep complaining about buildings being blown up in Gaza, bro. It's just property damage, bro. Every time he talks about buildings being blown up in Gaza, I don't know why, bro. It's just property damage. This is like, it's fucking retarded. Is this not inciting his audience to blow shit up and vandalize shit? Like, let's be real.
So hard to just say that setting a car on fire is bad.
You know why? It's because he wants that to happen. It's because he directly wants this to happen. A lot of people think that Hasan is just like a far left guy. He's not just a far left guy. He's a terrorist supporter and inciter. He directly supports radical acts of violence. Every single murderer he could find that kills someone for some sort of ideological goal, that is literally exactly what he wants. He supports Luigi Mangione executing a guy in broad daylight. He supports the guy in Washington, D.C. that just shot 2 Jews and murdered them in some Jewish museum, all right? He kind of even supports the guy that lit a bunch of Jews on fire at a peace rally in Colorado. I covered that. It's insane.
What do you think he would post on Twitter if he came back to his Porsche on fire?
This is the core of most of the luxury beliefs that fuel these protests.
Okay, it's not just luxury beliefs. He's also a radical Islamist.
These people never have to live with the consequence.
No one wants to say the quiet part out loud. You see, I have basically been ahead of Asmongold by like 2 months on the Hasan drama the entire time. All right? I want to make this clear. The entire Hasan drama that's been happening, I was 2 months ahead of Asmongold. When I was saying Hasan is a dangerous person that should be in jail, Asmongold said criticism is valid. And then when I said and then 2 months later, Asmongold caught up to me. And he's like, yeah, actually, this guy's fucking insane. He's inciting violence. He's telling his people to kill United States senators. He's taking parts in riots. He should be in jail. I'll give him 2 months until he agrees with me that he is a direct Islamist extremist. And this is not like criticizing all Muslims, all right? Obviously not. There's some wonderful Muslims out there. But he directly is part of the Islamist extremist insurgent groups that want to globalize the Intifada and fucking cause mayhem around the world. And you'll see, give Asmon 2 months, 2 months, and he will catch up to me. You know what? I'll even just put it right here. I'll even just put it on right here. Damn it. Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, kick raid from Nuxanor. Oh shit, thank you Nux. I appreciate it, man. And sometimes I'll watch his videos whenever I'm eating Chipotle at night. And some crazy shit, huh? The 540% whatever fuck thing. Yeah.
All right, to be clear, now it's 590% whatever fuck thing. And also to be clear, Asmongold, I understand that you don't want to say this on your stream yet. I know that you don't want to say this yet. In 2 months, you will agree with me. All right, listen, I don't know. I don't think he realized it. Look, I've been the target of like unbelievable amounts of anti-Semitic attacks online. All right? Like actually fucking insane, wild amounts of anti-Semitic shit. You have no idea. I'm going to show you some in my video because Hasan actually got his orbiters and freaks to attack me again today. All right? So I will actually show you that one. So in 2 months, you'll agree with me. All right? I'm just saying, when they tell you who they are, believe them.
of their own suicidal empathy.
There's good stuff happening on the protest side.
Oh God, you have to see this clip. You're gonna lose your mind. You're gonna lose your absolute mind. Look at this guy.
Always. You only see the looting of Target. You don't see the redistribution of the goods that they took from Target back to the community.
You only see the looting of the Target. You don't see the redistribution. In other words, he is defending the fucking violent riots and looting. All right? There's no two ways about this. He's always been like this. He's just been hiding his power level. Oh, he's just some socialist guy. Nah. He is a communist, Islamist extremist. Yeah, you're gonna see. Give me 2 months, Mr. Gold. 2 months. You'll see.
Even if someone were to burn my fucking leased car.
Leased car? Notice he says.
Like, I still have
leased car? I don't care if you burn someone else's shit as long as it's not my shit. Like, dude, every single fucking time. It's insane. It's like, and then Hamas wants to make believe that they're the fucking victims in this war, right? You have to realize, Hamas started a war with Israel. Israel bombed them back, and now Hamas is crying victim. Obviously, I feel bad for the civilians in Gaza, but I don't feel bad for Hamas. Let them all die. And the quicker the better. Because the sooner they all die, the sooner the war ends and the actual peaceful civilians could survive a normal life. So yeah, fuck them all. But Hasan supports them. You have to realize this is a pattern.
Okay, because it's not my car. And
yep, it's always the fucking cry bully tactics.
Somebody else has to pay for it.
Yup.
Well, I mean, look, at least he's being honest, right?
That's a far more preferable outcome. That's what I'm saying.
If somebody was at Hasan's house or on Hasan's property and Hasan didn't want him there,
Hasan Piker, I'm gonna kill you!
Hasan would be...
That was a quote. That was a quote from the Candyman.
Calling the police to have them get removed. For whatever reason, obviously, this isn't something that
He's a communist with his Gucci bag, got his Prada kicks, gotta have his swag.
Country can do, only Hasan can do this. It's okay if his car gets burned down. It's not his car. He's only leasing it. And also, he has insurance that's going to pay for it anyway. And this is the reason why it's okay to set cars
for their livelihood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, the reason why I wanted to show all of this to you, you know what? I'm gonna skip a little bit when it comes to the order of things that I was gonna show things to you, because we kind of evolved. 43 Americans were killed on October 7th. They are telling you the plan. Let me show you this clip, and we'll see if you could notice anything in this clip. All right, pay attention. I want you to notice something very subtle. They're all saying, globalize the intifada. All right? That's what they're all shouting. Mexico to Gaza. Mexico to Gaza. Well, first of all, what the fuck are you talking about? These are not even remotely similar situations. That's the first thing to note. But you have to realize, according to the neo-Marxist perspective on reality, no, it is all the same issue. It is the oppressor versus the oppressed. And white guys, well, they're always the oppressors. An organized country like the United States, that's always the oppressor. So, Mexico to Gaza, globalize the intifada, this is the craziest shit in the world. This is actually the most ridiculous shit ever. And it tells you so much of what they actually believe in. This is someone dressed in a keffiyeh and a actual Hamas terrorist headband. This is not just like some random garb. This is the actual Hamas headband, all right? And she is there doing her crying white girl TikTok meme, screaming, globalize the intifada on any Western civilization. Globalize the intifada means kill people around the world for your political ideology or movement. That is what they're saying. They want it globalized, not just in Israel, not just in LA. Globalize that shit. Mexico to Palestine, bro. Globalize the intifada. Globalize the intifada. Palestine to Mexico, holy shit. All these walls have got to go. All these walls have got to go. Like, this is direct anarchy. They directly are invading the Western world with this shit. I am not even joking. They want war. They say they want war, bro. That's what they say. Yeah, so this is crazy shit. Obviously, I'm not telling you just arrest everyone that chants in the street or anything, but this is an incitement of violence, and there's no doubt about it. They are telling you the plan. They are telling you the plan. I'm not even joking. And this is the type of shit that Hasan supports, by the way. Hasan supports this shit. Once I showed you a Dave Rubin tweet, I had to show you another one. This was fucking crazy. This is, you're not even gonna believe this. This is mostly peaceful. Firing mortars in the middle of the city at police officers. All right, pay attention to this guy. You know, I'll even move my little VTuber guys so you can see. Pay attention to this fuck over here with the mortar. Bro, what the hell is this? What is happening? And you're saying that Trump doesn't need to mobilize the military, bro? What the fuck is that? That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my fucking god, dude. I showed this also earlier, but this is the media's coverage of what's been going on.
And even those who were out of step with what we are advocating, peaceful protest, did not create any violence. Nobody was shot, nobody was killed.
No violence. Zero violence. So I didn't see any violence.
Martial law is called.
Martial law?
I missed the point.
Oh, God.
Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence.
There was no violence. Do not trust your eyes. I am the media.
On the street, I know. And I went from downtown detention back out.
She was there. She trust her, bros. Trust her. It's a mostly peaceful fucking rocket launcher. All right, so I wanted to show you some other retarded shit and how Hasan's goons got me involved. This is pretty great. So I made this tweet. Just wanted to say thank you to Hasan Piker for documenting the faces of so many rioters blocking bridges and highways in LA. Feds can't do it without performative activists like you. So I stand by this. I think it's very funny that Hasan's footage might be used to arrest insurrectionists. I think it's actually pretty hilarious. I'm not even gonna lie. Of course, I will show you the Hasan's tweets a little bit later. I don't want to spoil. But yeah. So then the Hasan orbiters came to fuck me. It's amazing. Check this shit out. So this is a clip that they took from one of my videos. By the way, I'll be real, this is crazy. People say, Nux, I can't believe you have no empathy for these people that are getting deported. No, I have no empathy for the people being deported. I'm sorry. Having empathy for the cruel is being cruel to the innocent. Yeah, true. Yeah. If they're an illegal immigrant, or if they're on a student visa and they want the downfall of Western civilization, fuck them, get them out. So anyway, Canadian-American VTuber Nuxanor says he has no empathy for people deported if they're not American citizens. His family member was an IDF soldier who died while invading Gaza back in October 2023. So that's not true. Actually, it was my family member was murdered by a Hamas terrorist in Israel on October 7th when they invaded because they're terrorist fucks that started the war. But no, so you're not accurate. Pretty interesting random thing to throw in. Then he has like, I don't know, actual big fan. It's kind of crazy. Showing a bunch of clips of me. Nux Taku invited Destiny to visit Israel so we could give him a tour. Actually, I said that when we could watch the clip, but it's not going to prove any different. Mr. Borelli, you come to Israel. I will give you a tour, okay? I'll give you the craziest tour.
Wait, where are you at?
Israel.
Wait, do you really? Oh, I'm actually going in 3 days for 2 weeks, so.
You're going to Israel in 3 days?
Hell yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah, so this was during his Israel trip. I was there at the time. I met him there, actually. It was kind of crazy. But not the point. The tour to end tours. And then at the end of this is like, but Nux said he wouldn't go to the West Bank due to his racist fears that he would be killed. Did you know that there was a 9-month pregnant lady in the West Bank that was just murdered on the way to giving birth? So yeah, it's a pretty violent place. Yeah, this is not like a racist thing. It just happens to be violent. And they think this is like some big own, where basically this was 2 weeks after October 7th, where I said I've been inactive on here. I lost a family member in the Israel conflict and whatever. I'll be back eventually. And of course you get people saying, destroyed, disgusting Zionist. And this is Idubbbz realizing Hasan supports terrorists. And he's like, your family member died invading Gaza, Lamau. Whatever. Anyway, pretty funny. Then they showed a bunch of my old music videos where I made fun of Twitch. So you're a Twitch thought, nasty, greedy witch. Anyway, I can't show this to you because the last time I did this, I actually got copyrighted by Billie Eilish for making fun of Twitch. I still make fun of Twitch, so nothing has changed. Anyway, this is just some massive fucking post. Look at this. Here's another good one. Correction. Nuxanor is an Israeli Canadian American who currently lives in Israel. Wrong. I am not Israeli. I am Canadian-American, and I currently live in the United States of America. However, I do appreciate the misinformation being posted because I'm Jewish. So obviously all Jewish people are just Israeli Zionists living in Israel. Classic Hasan Brigader. So I've been getting a metric ton of these people flooding my comment section saying, your family will die. It's pretty great, actually. It's not, I'm not gonna lie. It is kind of fun when people actually show their true colors. I must say. They show their true colors, and you're like, wow, I actually have all the reason in the world to think you're a terrorist-supporting fuck. It's pretty hilarious. All right, pay no attention to that. So, Gavin, this was I think it was a White House video that was released, and this is one of the craziest videos of all time, because Gavin Newsom, has been going on a tirade that Hasan, of course, criticizes because he's not violent enough. He's not enough of an Islamist extremist. So the White House released this little fucking mixtape and it blew the world on fire.
The reality is we see peaceful protests launching in Los Angeles.
Get your hands off these poor people are just trying to live their lives.
They're living their lives!
Trying to live their lives.
This is Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. The governator, as I call him. The governor of California. Without incident!
The vast majority of protesters and demonstrators are peaceful.
It's under control, says Gavin Newsom.
It is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn.
Overwhelmingly peaceful, Kamala Harris. So true, so real.
They're saying that they have it under control.
Yes! I don't know what all this so-called violence is about.
Things are under control. Peaceful protests are taking place.
So much peace. Elizabeth Warren, peaceful protests. Yeah, so the White House actually posted that fucking horror show video. Yeah, Trump is ready for his third term right now. I think that the majority of the country will just give him the third term. You don't even need another election at this point. Just give it to him, bro. So the funniest thing is, everyone's been saying that I don't know why the White House is like this. I don't know why the White House is posting this image. This image just proves that we look badass and awesome. It's the hardest image of all time, right? I can't believe it. This image goes so hard. And I just kept thinking to myself, there are two types of people in America right now. There's these people, the Hasan Piker fan base, and then there's these people. Which image do you think goes harder? Because whoever thinks this image goes harder is part of the problem. I'm not even gonna lie. You are part of the problem. This is a man who got shot at a rally and stood up and put his fist in the air to fight for his country. And this is a man fighting to destroy his country. It is crazy that which way, Western man? I really feel like that is literally the side-by-side that you just pick what side you're on right now. So Gavin Newsom's been going on every news show on the planet, and he's been losing his absolute shit. Every time he goes live, he sounds stupider. I think he's scared because Trump threatened to arrest him, which is very funny, as I've shown in my previous video. But look how insane this is.
California may be first, but it clearly will not end here. Other states are next. Democracy is next.
So first of all, democracy is electing Trump as president with an overwhelming majority. All 7 swing states, right? So that's democracy. And then, deporting the criminals. Yeah, all right. The thing is, he's basically inciting other states to please also devolve into anarchy. I want to see this shit happening in Texas. Like, if I could pick a state, democracy is next is about as organic as my laptop. Yeah, this is the most insane shit of all time. Yeah, so I don't know if that's a direct incitement of riots in other states, but it kind of sounds like it. So Gavin Newsom's been tweeting nonstop little clips of himself to make himself look better. But he doesn't realize that all this is going to do is paint him a very nice road directly to prison.
He's a stone-cold liar. I respect the presidency. I've tried to have an open hand with him. Tried to work with him. You can't work with Donald Trump. You can only work for him.
Yeah, you do work for him, actually. He's the president. He's the commander-in-chief. You actually do work for him. I'm glad we're all on the same page.
And I refuse to work for Donald Trump.
Yeah, all right. Well, anyway, it's kind of funny. I just thought that one was pretty funny. But, yeah. So, this guy, remember this guy who was throwing rocks at cars? This guy? This overwhelmingly peaceful protester? Well, we are finally in the fucked around and find out stage. The FBI found out who he was. And he found out. They raided his house last night. So the little victories, So the federal judges actually side with Trump on this one over Newsom. They will not force Trump to withdraw the National Guard and Marines. Another loss for news scum. Trump will take back the streets of Los Angeles. This is kind of awesome. Not gonna lie. The courts are actually on Trump's side here because this is an open and closed, easy fucking situation. To the point that even people on the news, this is CNN. This guy is having a schizo fucking crash out that all of a sudden everyone's going on Trump's side.
Start off on the fact that immigrant citizens, immigrant voters, foreign-born voters have gone tremendous to the right on this issue in 2024 and 2025 versus where they were in 2020.
Oh, it's getting worse. The immigrants are on Trump's side, man. Oh, Lord.
Versus to trust more in immigration. You go back to 2020. Democrats, get this, held a 32-point lead on this issue. Immigrant voters were in the Democratic camp. Jump forward to 2024, 2025. Look at that shift, a 40-point shift to the right.
Dude, this is like an insane crash out. Look at this guy. He can't even believe what he's looking at.
Immigrant voters. Republicans now lead on this issue by 8 points over Democrats, more so than any other group that I could find. The group of voters who became more hawkish on immigration where in fact immigrants themselves.
It's the immigrants that don't like these people. If you're joining America because you want to contribute to the country, because you want to live in a better place, then fuck yeah, you're a legend. You're a goddamn legend. And it's the other fucks that come here illegally and bring fentanyl in and rape people or whatever other crimes or bullshit they do, or steal jobs or don't pay taxes or take Social Security. They're ruining it for you.
Immigrants who are registered to vote in this country.
So that's on that issue. How about how they feel about kind of traditionally, historically about Donald Trump?
Yeah, so, you know, you see this shift and you go, what is going on underneath the hood? Well, take a look, Donald Trump. You remember when he first ran back in 2016, immigrant voters were one of his weakest spots. But look at this, Trump's vote share in president.
Dude, 36% of immigrants in 2016, 47% in 2024. Oh my God.
Election among, again, immigrant citizens, those who are registered to vote. Look at this. In 2016, you got 36% of the vote. You go to 2020, 39% of the vote. Look at this. In 2024, all the way up to 47% of the vote.
He can't even believe it. Look, he's actually crashing out. This is awesome.
Had him barely losing that vote. Some polls I looked at had him barely winning that vote. Again, there is no block of voters that shifted more to the right from 2020 to 2024 than immigrant voters, and Donald Trump, at least in some surveys, actually won that vote. On average, it's about equal. So there may be all this stuff, right, about undocumented immigrants and Trump being harsh on them, but immigrant voters themselves have increasingly liked Donald Trump and have increasingly moved to the right on immigration into the Republican camp.
So the reason why this is so important to note is because Hasan's whole argument is that all these immigrants are all scared. They're all scared. They're all afraid. They hate this. They hate Trump. It's all a fascism. It's a fascism and a Nazism. They're all Hitlerites in the government. All the Hitlerites are Hitlering around. And it turns out none of that's true at all. He's just fear-mongering. The immigrants are overwhelmingly on this side. Now, the funniest thing is, if you would have asked me who moved to the right most, I would probably say white men. Because I felt like that the Democrats absolutely abandoned the average white guy in America. But it turns out immigrants were even more on that side than white dudes. It's crazy. So this is, we showed this to you earlier. This is the Apple store getting looted in Los Angeles. This is just a mostly peaceful looting, obviously. Just another classic mostly peaceful looting situation that's going on. Now, Gavin Newsom, he did a little statement, but I think this is the funniest shit of all time. He's been texting news anchors to make sure that they play his clip. If that's not the most pathetic, fucking attention-seeking, grifting shit I've ever heard in my life, I don't know what is.
All right, this is a Fox News alert. Governor Newsom just texted me. And
the governor of California is texting random hosts in Fox News, bro.
Was asking me whether
this is embarrassing
or not we will be taking some of his press conference at the bottom of the hour, so that'll be about 3 minutes from right now, as he's slated to address the nation. I will fact check it in real time.
How pathetic is that? He's texting random. He's like, yo, in 3 minutes, I'm on. In 3 minutes, pay attention, Dad. Pay attention, Dad. So before we actually show you what he actually said, I need to show you how this was broadcasted. Because if this guy has God against him, right? We've already established, Exodus 22:2. Thief breaks into your house, kill that motherfucker. That's a bit paraphrasing Exodus 22:2, but God is on the side of the law. This was his speech to the nation.
Okay, we are working on the audio.
It's muted.
Not sure if that's...
It's muted!
But we are working to get that production up and running for you so you can listen in. We certainly will have excerpts of what the governor has said.
Yeah, we'll get excerpts. Don't worry.
We're efforting to get the audio working so we can hear Governor Newsom's speech. We do know that he did file a lawsuit.
We know he filed a lawsuit against Trump, which he lost. And he's trying. This is his important moment. He's texting all the fucking media sites. He goes on TV and he's muted. This is the funniest shit in the universe. You can't make this up. This is the funniest shit of all time. Like, come on. I can't believe it. We've reached peak retard. Now, before I actually show you what his actual speech was, I want to show you some context. This is what he said in June 2024. All right, this is what he said 1 year ago.
So back down here at the border, Tijuana, right behind me, San Diego sector. This is the San Ysidro port of entry, not too far away, which is the largest in the Western Hemisphere. We were just down here with the National Guard, meeting with customs agents as well as Border Patrol, talking about our partnerships. 390 National Guardsmen and women that have been working, particularly as it relates to fentanyl here in the state of California.
Oh, fentanyl.
At the bottom line, at the end of the day, they need more resources. Everybody needs more resources.
The National Guard needs more resources. Interesting.
The Republican Party has been consistently standing in the way of providing the resources, the support for the men and women working hard, not only here at the border, but out throughout the state of California and this country to address the issues related to the border. It's time for them to stop playing politics. It's time for the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, to stop playing politics.
Enough
and
politics.
do the right thing. So back down.
Yeah, it's time to do enough politics and do the right thing. We need to activate the National Guard because of these foreign threats. Where did this guy go? Where did he go? What happened? Where did the guy go? He ran away. Well, what happened to this guy? What a holy grifter, Batman. And now all the fentanyl stopped, and now all of a sudden he's like, you were always bad all along. In June 2024, Governor Gavin Newsom told Republicans send the National Guard to help with the illegal alien problem. Kind of weird. Politics, am I right, guys? But now, I wanted to show you some other pretty epic, before we get into that, because it's too fucking funny. I have to show you the actual speech. All right, so J.D. Vance says, Gavin Newsom says he didn't have a problem until Trump got involved. Both of these photos were taken before the president authorized the National Guard. Does this look like no problem? And he absolutely destroyed it. He absolutely freaking annihilated him. And this is after Gavin Newsom keeps tweeting, you need to do your job. We didn't have a problem until Trump got involved. And Vance's response is, these pictures are before Trump got involved. This is a problem, bro. This is a problem, without a doubt. So let me show you his little speech. It's a little speech. He tries his best to cry on camera. It's pretty great. And let's see if he changes the world.
California will keep fighting.
He just starts off the first second. He kind of incites more riots.
Keep fighting on behalf of our people, all of our people, including in the courts. Just yesterday, we filed a legal challenge to Donald Trump's
look at him. He's about to cry.
Reckless deployment of American troops to a major American city. Today, we sought an emergency court order to stop the use of the American military.
He lost.
To engage in law enforcement activities
he lost.
Across Los Angeles.
Just want to remind you, he lost.
If some of us could be snatched off the streets without a warrant.
Well, if they're not legal, then get them out.
Based only on suspicion or skin color.
Bro, it's not about skin color. They figure out if they're legally in the country and then they get rid of them. Why is this complicated? I don't understand. There's a country with borders and laws. Why should there not be borders and laws?
Then none of us are safe.
What are you talking about? Dude, the media made a whole stink that they deported Kilmar Albrego Garcia. And it turns out that guy was a guy who was not illegal in the country. He was supposed to be deported a while ago, who beat his wife, who trafficked people in the country. Like, what are we talking about? This is not complicated. He thinks everyone's stupid. He thinks people watch his videos and are stupid, retarded little gay bitches. And he's like, yup, I'm going to convince those guys that this is happening. Guys, this will shock you to hear. I don't think there has been a single instance where an actual legal immigrant was deported. Over all of these raids and all these deportations, I don't think it happened one time that a legal American immigrant was deported. It didn't happen. Like, this is unbelievable levels of fear-mongering.
Authoritarian regimes begin by targeting people.
These are not legally in the country. These people are not legally in the country. They broke in.
Who are least able to defend themselves.
This is like saying if there's a drug addict who breaks into your house, you shouldn't be able to kick him out because he can't defend himself. That's a retarded statement.
But they do not stop there. Trump and his loyalists, they thrive on division.
Look how he keeps doing this about Trump and his loyalists. Dog, everyone's his loyalist. Everyone's on his side. Everyone thinks you're retarded.
Because it allows them to take more power and exert even more control. And by the way, Trump, he's not opposed to lawlessness and violence as long as it serves him. What more evidence do we need than January 6th?
Bro, they have one thing. They have one thing. First of all, everyone who participated in January 6th was arrested. Even the people that weren't violent and didn't commit any crimes were arrested. One guy broke a window and a few more guys pushed cops. That is not an insurrection like this. What are we even talking about? January 6th.
Ask everyone. Take time. Reflect on this perilous moment. A president who wants to be bound by no law or constitution.
Bro was in courts for years. They tried to lock him up for 7 centuries. I'm not even joking. That is the actual number that they tried to lock him up for. 7 centuries.
Perpetuating a unified assault on American traditions.
Bro, you have a fucking Mexican rebellion in your country, in your state. What are you talking about?
This is a president who in just over 140 days has fired government watchdogs.
Fucking based. They weren't doing their jobs.
That could hold him accountable for corruption and fraud. He's
like
declared
insane.
a war on culture, on history, on science.
A war on what the fuck does that even mean, a war on history?
It's on knowledge.
Bro went back in time to kill Hitler.
Databases, quite literally, are vanishing.
What?
He's delegitimizing news organizations.
The news organizations that said that there's no violence in California right now. That's the news organizations that are being delegitimized.
And he's assaulting the First Amendment.
He's assaulting the First Amendment because how dare you arrest people that are lighting your country on fire? The freedom of speech. Listen, shooting cannons in downtown Los Angeles is just freedom of speech.
And the threat of defunding them. At threat, he's dictating what universities themselves can teach.
No, he's not, actually. He just says that if you're going to be teaching radical propaganda, we're not going to fund them. This is another lie, by the way. He's not dictating what they teach. He's just saying if you're going to directly teach values antithetical to the country, we are not going to give you billions of dollars. That's what he actually said. Like, it's unreal how many lies this guy says in his little 2-minute speech.
He's targeting law firms and the judicial branch that are the foundations.
He's not targeting the judicial branch. The judicial branch is targeting him. He's deporting people legally by the book, and you get random bumfuck federal judges in the middle of Tennessee, whatchamahoo's-it, saying, ain't no way you're gonna deport that man according to the law.
Of an orderly and civil society.
Bro, did we watch the same videos? Did we watch the same videos in LA? You're gonna call that an orderly and civil society? Bro, dude. Look how orderly and civil this is.
This looks like the real life version of that Concord character.
This is our city, and this was Mexico. You can't kick us out of the land that was ours. Donald Trump, fascism, free.
It's good thing that she got her hand
free. What the hell does let our people free mean?
Closed.
What's the windblower for? Just the fucking tear gas to blow up those motherfuckers. If you have a fucking blower, bring it up! Send back! I do 1992 again, rookie tags! I was 12 then! I'm 44 now!
I wonder if the Department of Health is going to tell us how many trans fats are in this rally.
You! Major Bass! If you can hear me, expect...
She doesn't even... No, it's mayor. Like, not... What do you... Major? What the fuck is this?
They have no idea what
Donald Trump right now. What would he say?
Donald Trump! You can suck my left nut, you can get out of my drawer! You're just mad because Salma Hayek wouldn't give you the time of day, and because Claudia Sheinbaum make you look like a loser!
Is it... That's the... that's the...
That's the Mexican president.
Mexican president. Yep. So, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
What are the odds? Yeah, she's got major Concord energy.
Yeah, crazy. So yeah, anyway, fun situation. Fun stuff happening. But anywho.
He's calling for a sitting governor to be arrested for no other reason than to, in his own words, for getting elected.
Yeah, he was making fun of you, and that was a joke. I watched that clip.
And we all know this Saturday. He's ordering our American heroes, the United States military, and forcing them.
Look at him make believe he cares about the military.
To put on a vulgar display to celebrate his birthday, just as other failed dictators have done in the past.
Yeah, so this is insane. This is not celebrating his birthday. It's celebrating the end of World War II and the army. Like, it's insane how many lies he can make in a single video. Like, he does. This is like his big post, by the way. This is what he was texting all the news organizations to actually show on the news. But I wanted to show you what, in my opinion, was his previous and best ever appearance on national television. This was his best ever appearance. A lot of people are unaware of this. So I felt like we got to look into this one.
Thank you all for coming here on short notice. I want to make it clear that everything you've heard and read is true.
Oh.
And I am deeply sorry.
Oh. What's he apologizing for?
I've hurt someone I care deeply about, Alex Turk, his friends and family.
Oh, no.
And that is something that I have to live with and something that I am deeply sorry for.
No.
I am also sorry that I've let the people of San Francisco down.
Oh, no. Do you know what he's doing? You want spoilers? Gavin Newsom would appreciate if you didn't retweet this video of him apologizing for getting caught sleeping with his campaign manager's wife. History's most trustful man. I would trust this man. I would trust this man with my life, God damn it. I would trust him for anything. Now, this is too good to be true because, again, you'd think that this guy cannot hit a lower low. I have to show you all the Gavin Newsom bullshit before I show you Hasan losing his mind. Gavin Newsom screamed and cried that Trump didn't even call him. And Trump gave receipts and screenshots from his phone that he actually did call him.
Going on between Gavin Newsom and President Trump. Gavin Newsom, after President Trump said in the noon hour in the Oval Office that he called him yesterday or the other day, Gavin Newsom tweeted the following. He said, quote, "There was no call, not even a voicemail. Americans should be alarmed that a president deploying Marines on our streets doesn't even know who he's talking to." Well, President Trump contacted me from Air Force One on his way to...
He said that he doesn't even know who he's talking to, right? He said that he talked to me, and he didn't talk to me. That was what Gavin Newsom said.
Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where he'll be in just a little while. He said the first call to Gavin Newsom was not picked up. The second call Gavin picked up. We spoke for 16 minutes. I told him to essentially, quote, and this is quoting the president, get his ass in gear and stop the riots, which were out of control more than anything else. This shows what a liar he is. Said I never called. So here is the evidence. And here is the call log.
And Trump sent a screenshot to the press saying outgoing call 16 minutes to Gavin Newsom. This is clown world. This is amazing. Oh my God. And the governor really, he went out there and he was saying Trump doesn't even know who he's talking to. He lied. And he's just like, what are you fucking talking about? He actually just showed the screenshot
that the president sent me from his phone. This was June the 7th. Now,
he sent it from his phone. Oh my God.
Granted, this was on Saturday.
Oh, it's the funniest shit in the world. Get fucked, new scum. So this is Hasan crashing the fuck out over this. I'll go in order. Gavin Newsom made a big show of making this announcement and it was muted. Oh, you're a hero, bro. You're a hero. Newsom is blaming Trump for escalations, which is true, except most of the explanations directed at protests have come from LASD, LAPD, CHP so far. The federal Leo's National Guard only stationed at federal buildings, and as of this morning, deployed along ICE on raids. His complaint is, it's true, he called out Trump, but what he should have actually done is, he should have called all the police officers white supremacist Nazis and blamed them too. He should have burnt that fucker to the ground. He should have said, I have no respect for American troops. Because Hasan supports the terrorists. He's always been against the American troops. He doesn't care if American troops get PTSD. Based? I foolishly thought gruesome Governor Gavin Newsom, he's using Trump's nicknames. But have something new and interesting to say beyond what has already been experienced for the past couple of months. Wild that we're only reaching levels of 2016 resilience liberalism when the moment requires so much more. He wants straight insurrection and open rebellion. That's what he wants. That is what he wants, okay? I want to make this clear. That is what he wants. Absolutely, not even exaggerating, it's what he wants. Now, Asmongold just thinks he's a radical guy, but Asmongold, I know you're watching this, my brother, my homie, my boy, my homie, my friend, my guy, my dude. You're a little bald, and I think that makes you cool. But also, you don't realize who he is. You think he's just a radical guy. He's not just a radical guy. He is an Islamist, extremist, communist. All right, he directly wants this. He wants open rebellion. And you know what? I'm going to show you a clip that's going to make you change your mind, Asmongold. All right, this one's for you, buddy. This one's for you. All right, this is just the radical guy, Hasan Diddy Adolf Piker. He might have had sex with children, by the way.
There should never be an instance where they deploy troops to Los Angeles unless there is like a literal invasion, okay? Which, you know... in which case, it would be really sad because I would probably link up arms with our Chinese overlords to bring...
I don't think this is a joke.
...bring about the Chinese century of prosperity.
He's directly saying that if there is an invasion that happens, that's the only time that they can use this, and he will team up with the enemy. And I believe it. I actually believe it, because he's a communist, terrorist-supporting fuck. All right? He cried when Greta Thunberg got quote-unquote kidnapped by Israel when she tried to invade their blockade and literally just flown right out of Israel. He was crying that she was kidnapped. I have never seen him say that the Hamas hostages should actually be released. I've never seen him say that the Houthis are bad people, even though they take random fucking prisoners. Filipino sailors were prisoners to the Houthis, and he supports them. He is a actual... I think, insurrectionist, violent person that has gained a following, and he is waiting for his time in the shine and his time in the sun where he can directly cause a rebellion against the Western world. I think it's happening. I think it's happening. And unless he ends up in prison and is 1,000% fucked, we're going to actually see it in our lifetime. It's going to be crazy. So I wanted to show you my favorite political commentator before we wrap up this video. Hasan is 590% fucked, and I thought that it was important for me to talk about this properly. I wanted to show you my favorite political commentator. This is XQC. He is the greatest greatest political commentator of all time. You might think that the best political commentator is Asmongold. Please. This is the best political commentator. So this is what XQC had to say specifically about the fires in LA that happened about a year ago.
Have been injured during this little episode.
Wait, hold on. Chat, what if they, instead of putting retardant and hoping, why don't they just bomb the outer line? Like a line of bombs. Say, fuck it, we're trying a bunch of bombs, and when the fire gets there, it's just soil.
He wanted to firebomb LA to end the wildfire. And he meant it! He meant it, bro! He meant it! Just firebomb LA. That'll stop the fire. So now, he had some things to say about the current situation. You know, before I show you the current situation, I have to show you my other favorite, incredibly deep XQC political analysis. So I actually sent this clip to Pegasus the other day, so I actually have it pulled up. But dude, check this shit out. This is the best clip of all time. So, because we're talking about Hasan, and everything that happens in the world according to Hasan has to do with Palestine somehow. We got to look at XQC's solution to the Israel-Palestine conflict.
In 1978, Israel and Egypt signed the U.S.-brokered Camp David Accords. Shortly after that, Israel gave...
Yeah, this is a really bad question, chat. Why don't they just... And this will sound really bad. Why don't they take the whole piece of land...
Right.
Full reset...
Right.
All the same, and just call it like a landia. Like, it's just land.
Problem
Fuck
solved.
It. And just everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Back to Egypt.
This is the greatest clip of all time. This is the greatest clip. He has literally solved the Israel-Palestine conflict. I don't know how no one thought of this before. But thanks to XQC, we have solved every possible issue. So XQC made a video saying the libtards are not helping their cause. He is completely correct. He is undoubtedly, completely and utterly correct. Yes, the libtards are not helping their cause. They even lost destiny, okay? So this guy says, this is not helping your cause. Guy who doesn't care about or know what the cause is. 133,000 likes, 1.7 million views. This was retweeted by Hasan Diddy Bin Laden Epstein Piker, obviously because he likes that shit. Yeah, so basically he's getting mega heat and mega canceled because he said the libtards are not helping their cause, and by the way, he's completely correct. Except it turned out, guy who doesn't know or care about the cause was 100% vindicated instantly, because if you look at the poll numbers right now, do you approve Trump's National Guard deployment? Yes, 59%. No, 39%. This is a 60-40 split. This isn't 51-49. This is a 60-40 split. The guy who thinks that solution for Israel-Palestine is Landia, and the guy who thought you should firebomb LA to stop the fires has more political awareness than Hamas, Diddy, Bin Laden, Epstein, Adolf, Piker. Thanks so much for joining. Today we made fun of a retard. Next time maybe he'll be in jail. Who knows? Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.